hope everything's going well for you today. We have a story about Daniel and the lions. Wonder what's going to happen. Do you know? Have you heard this before? Could you tell the story? Let's see. So Daniel was a captive. He was a Jew boy, and he had been taken captive into Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar was the king at one time. Darius is the king at the time of this story. And Darius really liked Daniel because the Bible said Daniel had an excellent spirit. Whatever he was asked to do, he would always do his best. And he just wasn't a problem. And he just got along with people and had a good attitude. Of course, we know that when you're really trying to do right and be right, sometimes it makes other people feel bad. So they don't like you very well, and they will try to do things to harm you. That's what happened to Daniel. These guys got really jealous over the relationship that he had with King Darius. So they started watching Daniel. We're going to find him doing something wrong and we're going to go tell. Yes, we are. But you know what? All that time they were watching Daniel, trying to find him doing something wrong. They couldn't catch him doing anything wrong. He did his job well. He was honest. He was obedient. So what are we going to do? We can't find anything to tattle on him about. But you know what? In all that watching, they had noticed that he was very faithful to his God. 3 times a day, he would kneel down and pray to God. So they said, okay, this is where we're going to get him, is his relationship with God. So they went to Darius. Oh, Darius, you're just such a wonderful king, and we need to do something to really lift you up and let people know how wonderful you are. Let's make a law that for 30 days, no one can pray to anybody, any God, except for you. Well, that sounded good to Darius. I mean, after all, he was the king. So they made the law, and they made sure everybody knew the law. In those days, they didn't have telephones and radios and all that stuff. So there would be a person that would go out as a messenger, or maybe they would write it out, but they would make sure people knew about the law. And Daniel knew about it, but he didn't stop praying. He didn't start just because they made a law against it, but he certainly didn't stop just because they made a law against it. So 3 times a day, he would go to his room. He would open the window toward Jerusalem as they were taught to do. They said, the Lord had told him, if you're ever out of your country, look toward Jerusalem and pray, and I will hear you. So, of course, these guys were watching. Yeah, those enemies of Daniel, they were watching. Oh, goody, we're going to go tell. So they went to the king, and they said, King Darius, you remember that law you made that can't be changed? Well, Daniel is breaking the law and praying to his God. Oh, Darius forgot all about Daniel. When he made that law, he knew Daniel prayed, and he knew Daniel wouldn't stop praying just because of a law. Oh, it was terrible. And he tried to figure out what to do. And he tried, and he tried. And they reminded him, it cannot be changed. So finally he called Daniel in, and he said, you have to be thrown into the den of lions. That's the punishment for praying to a God other than me for this 30 days. But you know what? Your God will take care of you. So they took Daniel, they threw him into the den of lions. All night, the king, he could not rest. He would not listen to music. He wouldn't eat anything. He just worried and worried. Finally, it was daylight. So he went to where the lions were, and he said, oh, Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? And then he heard from the lion's den, O King, live forever. Oh, the king was so happy. Get Daniel out of there. Get him out of there right now. So they got Daniel out. And then they got all those bad guys that were trying to make Daniel look bad and cause a problem between him and the king. And they threw them into the den of lions. And those lions were hungry because an angel had come. God had sent an angel and shut those lions' mouths. And that's why they weren't able to eat Daniel. But now they were hungry and they took care of those guys. Then King Darius said, let me tell you, nobody better say anything bad against the God of Daniel. What other God can deliver like this? You better respect him. You better lift him up because he is the God. All right, let's see how well we listen and how well we can answer questions. All right? Who was jealous of Daniel? Yeah, those guys that they wanted to be special like Daniel. They wanted to have his jobs. They wanted to be the king's favorite because they knew that Daniel was. That's right. Could they find anything wrong with his work? No. They watched him. They tried. And that's why it's important for us to do our work well, because people are watching. And we want people to love God and to think well of God. So we are the ones they look at to see about how God really is. What did the law say? Right. No one can pray to any god or man for 30 days or they'll be thrown into the into the den of lions. What did they catch Daniel do? Did you say praying? Exactly right. They caught him praying and they went and tattled, didn't they? So where did they put Daniel? Yeah, into the den of lions. That's right. Why didn't the lions eat him? Did you say because an angel came and shut their mouths? That's exactly right. What happened to Daniel's enemies? Yes, they were thrown into the lion's den, weren't they? So we want to be like Daniel, don't we? We want to trust God. Daniel couldn't help himself. He could not have fought those lions off in his own power, could he? No. So what did he do? You know that verse, Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. That's what Daniel did. He didn't know why he was being punished. He was just praying and doing what he knew to do. But he trusted God either way. Either way, he knew God would take care of him. If the lions ate him, well, he would just go to heaven, wouldn't he? That wouldn't be bad. So we can put our trust in the Lord and know that he will take care of us too. Great. Ta-ta.